I don't know if it's right now, but my Pifting has told me to restart the streams because everyone had thought that I am dead. So my name is Quatrus. Once again, I have to introduce myself, and this time out, as I said before, but I thought I was heard. Turns out I wasn't. I am one and only man in the commentary booth. No one is joining me once again as it was in Buenos Aires, so I'm gonna rely only on myself in commentating this such beautiful race, it turns out, because of the weather that has dropped. Soaked once again, as it was in Division 2 East Buenos Aires, as it was in Division 2 West last season's race. We see How Are You Gamer Pro making his way through Sector 3, having another purple Sector 2. This might be his generational run throughout this qualifying, being better and better for arcade racing. We see actually Knoschenbrecher, who is the last man standing, but we will now drop to see. No, he's not making his lap, but we see Dev being third. I have missed that, to be honest. Dev, who has practiced only for 3 hours, only today, who has made his debut this season. He was previously in the FRO, but I'm going to remind you that he was there in season like 5, but he was found out to be like 9, and the consent age of the minimum age of joining FRO, I remind you, is 12. So if you are underage, then you are going to be banned until you reach 12. And Dev has faced that. He had to wait 3 years to come back, and is coming back in such a fashion, in such a style, having now 3-4 for Kotangens as Hamza goes third fastest. That's not his best lap time he can get, I'm sure, but third is a nice outcome to end the qualifying with. With David with purple sector 1. This is one of the the biggest favorites to win this race, to win the qualifying. He has set 35.4 in Sunday. Sunday, it was 1 week ago. It was just behind our Division 2 East race at Buenos Aires, and he has set a lap time that wasn't beatable by any other driver. We have seen Hamza making their way up to 35.8. I have personally done a 35.9, but none of the men were close to what Rip David did in Sunday. And he has set the best lap time in the practice before the session has started with the rainfall, and it was 35.6, with Leo Parler finishing up, being 1/10 only behind. What do you mean, where am I? Oh yeah, the stream is finally in. I thought that I gotta restart again. Anyways, we have the final lap qualifying started, and we see Rip David making his way to checkered flag. He goes and he goes and he goes and he flies by to go only second. He has messed up the final corner, he has bottled it, and he makes a corner cut. He won't be getting any lap again. So Rip David is falling short to what Our Gamer Pro did, and he seems to improve his lap time even further, because he has set a green sector 1. He has set, though, a red sector 2 very, very slowly, cautiously, carefully going through that hairpin. I think that he has gone wide. Defho goes third fastest in his debut run. He goes fastest and he seems to get another lap, the final lap, what seems to be. So we have very, very good qualifying from both Lesaldos and from Kotangens, as well as it seems to be Funny Group Racing, with Verstappen being 7th and Enoiv being 8th. Enoiv is set to finish his lap, but 2 red sectors aren't anything good. However, Game Pro doesn't improve his lap time yet, but he's on his final lap attempt. Dev goes also red in the first sector, but I think he can improve on what he has done. A 50.0 in his debut after 3 seasons. That's generational. We see also Iron Bob being on an out lap, but I think, yeah, he's on the lap actually. I think he has touched the wall. I don't think that it could be the lap he can get that will be strong. He goes red in the first sector. However, Gilman Pro going green. so he can even improve further. We have seen Hamza getting 2 green sectors. We also see Leopardo on his lap being only P14, the championship leader, having a shocker in this qualifying, but he can surely come back because he's the championship leader. He's the most experienced one. He's from season 6 compared to what Howard Gamer Pro is. Well, Howard Gamer Pro who is purple in the 2nd sector, but Hamza will be quicker. Hamza will cut the beam first, so we will stay with Hamza. Hamza was set at 49.1, so that's a valid contender for the pole position. We will see how close he can get. And he will beat that. He beats that in a pole lap time with a 39.3, and we must see Howard Gamer Pro now with only a chicane to go to, but it isn't even a lift. So Howard Gamer Pro is set to cross the line as a reserve driver for TMP, but he doesn't improve. He must have missed his final sector, and Hamza seems to be on pole unless Iron Bob can do something about it. He's P5 currently, 7 tenths behind Hamza. Green sector 2, let's see. Well, he goes P3, so he pushes Rip David out of the points position. And we also see Enoif improving maybe on his lap time, 2 seconds behind the pole sitter, who can be threatened or cannot. We'll see now as Leopardo goes 8, so drops Enoif unless he can do something about it. He does. He does take the place back from Leopardo, the championship leader, and we also see Diamond. We also see Mr. Ring the Racer finishing above his teammate who goes 15th, and we see Diamond as the last man standing on the track. We will see how fast he can go. He was reported to do no practice at all, so P11 might be a good outcome, and he doesn't improve that. So that's qualifying wrapping up, with Hamza being with a first pole position in these sketchy conditions. That must be generational, with Howard Gamer Pro with another sensational run in the qualifying, being 3 tenths only behind. What if he didn't mess that final corner? That final sector, Iron Bob being third, coming back alive after some shocking, stinking rounds. We will see now all the drivers coming up through turn 1 chicane. It will be now 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 lights ahead of all the drivers on the grid, and they go away. We will see if someone messes the first chicane. Having a very good camera through there. I don't think anyone does, because it seems to be very lagging very much. But we see Hamza and Gamer Pro being in the lead ahead of the other drivers. Dev has lost a place to Smichael's already. Experience is coming right up to Dev's disadvantage. He drops back to P7. We see Hamza past sector 1, it seems to be in the lead from Howard Gamer Pro. Then Rip David only 5 tenths behind. Howard Gamer Pro with purple sector 1, taken by Leopardo. That's it more looks like a boat race rather than car race. So we will see who will be the strongest. Oh, so many drivers go wide, and one of the drivers is Albert. It seems someone went very wide, and was that Solarisov? No, it's the telemetry problem. Dev goes back to P3, so some of the drivers must have done very bad. It's still Hamza and Howard Gamer Pro and Hamza fighting their way neck and neck every second, every corner of this track, with only 26 laps to go. I don't know, it's only, but it's so exciting to see the 2 drivers that haven't even won a race. Howard Gamer Pro wasn't even on a podium since until the start of this race. He can't do what he hasn't done in his career. Never has he done that. His best result was P4 in Halong Bay, Division 2 East. After losing to, guess what? He has lost to Hamza. Hamza with so much internet connection problems. But it seems that Hamza is free from these problems now. He's free from any problem that has come to him in these last rounds. He seems unbreakable now, and the only man that can do something about it, it seems to be Howard Gamer Pro and Hamza itself. But it seems that Hamza is faster now. 3 tenths of a second between them and Dev. Look at the advantage that they have over Dev. who is making his debut after comeback after 3 years of trying to get to the point he's over the age of 12. So it's 12 till 2 seconds ahead of Dev, ahead of David, ahead of Leopardo, who has already made 4 places up within the start. Now make it 5 as he's fighting wheel to wheel with David. The two race favorites fighting wheel to wheel as if it was the fight for the win. Let's see though the weather update, as in 25 minutes it seems that from soaked it might go to dry at all. So this will even take more interesting turn in what will the strategies be. So someone's gotta do the mastermind. Who will drug, who will bat, who will turn out to have the strongest, the smartest, the best outcome in the strategic side. We will see in 24 minutes of time. Now it seems that Hamza is opening the gap over the Hauer Gamer Pro. It's 8/10 now, so Hamza is flying on the track with another first sector purple, but red sector 2. So it seems that wets are already being slower than it was in sector 1. Let's see who does the fastest lap. It seems that it will be Hamza. Will he? He will. Well, 50.0. It's whopping, but Dev is without any purple sectors. He is beating that time with 2 greens though. So Dev has set the best lap time with 49.9, and he's dropping the gap. The gap is melting in ice actually. It was 1.7, it's 1.2 now. So Dev is flying right now. Kotangas are flying. This might be the best race of the season of this team, as well as it might be a solid race for Lazado's drivers, driving in 5th and 6th. Hamza with another purple sector 1. What has he done? What has he eaten for breakfast? He's flying right now. Atomic, whopping start of the race from the Pakistani driver. He has opened the gap to 1.4 over Hauer Gamer Pro, but we gotta give the credit to him. He was the reserve driver who was called up instead of the last race's winner Lepri. So he had less time to prepare himself, and he's doing what he can to prevent Hamza from winning, to prevent being overtaken from Dev. Dev who has made a mistake. Dev who has made a mistake. It's 2.9 now, and he has to defend from hungry wolves, which are Leopardo and David, with Iron Bob, with Hamza fighting for P6 as Leopardo goes super wide, and it costs him a big time. It costs him a position to Rip David, but it doesn't seem that he loses too much time now. It seems that he goes super deep, so does Dev. So Rip David might gain some time on them, making so much mistakes. When it comes to Dev, it is understandable, but when it comes to Leopardo, the championship leader, it's unforgettable. It's unforgivable, I should say. You can see by how the drivers, how slow the drivers are, how sketchy conditions there are. With Hamza losing some advantage, losing all the advantage to Hauer Gamer Pro, it's only 1/10 now. So we are coming back. Hamza with a worse line. So we are seeing one of the contenders for the battle of the season if it stands like that. They have both gone 4/10 ahead of Dev. Hauer Gamer Pro with purple sector 1 and with the lead of the race. He's faster than Hamza now. He's the fastest driver now. What a drive he has at the start of the race, as Hamza has the better line through this corner, through turn 10, which isn't seemingly getting any problems to any driver as it was like a couple of seasons ago. I am Bob is complaining about the spray. It was actually a very big problem in Division 2 East Buenos Aires, so I completely understand him. I was actually fighting with Hamza for P2 and Verstappen, and I gotta remind myself. That doesn't matter. I was also convicted by how strong the spray is, so it's completely understandable. There were voices after the race that the spray should be reduced by a lot, anything hasn't been, nothing has been done about that. But how our Gamer Pro is doing something about opening the gap. Hamza was opening the gap a couple of laps ago. Now it's our Gamer Pro who is opening the gap, who is leading the race, who is leading the way to might be his first podium, maybe even his first race win. Their gap over Dev is 4 seconds, but Dev though has a nice gap over Rip David to work with. It's 1.8 with Anoiv having a really good momentum. We gotta see that Anoiv is 5th. He was fighting for P6 with Iron Bob. Now he has overtaken Leopardo, who seems to have many problems now. Remember that he has qualified P9, so it might be that he hasn't practiced race pace in the wet at all. It's still he's still having a good race. I'm not gonna lie. It's very good for a driver that hasn't practiced seemingly race pace at all. Also, Verstappen, after some great runs in Division 2 at Buenos Aires, is fighting with Albert for P11. Albert also had a great race last weekend. Now is fighting for the least amount of points with Mr. Ring the Racer. Mr. Ring the Racer, who hasn't scored any point because it's his second start, and the first one it was P13, I believe. So it's gonna be, it could be his first chance to do so, as Hauer Gamer Pro keeps opening the gap. It's 1.2 now, almost. So we see drivers making their way, as in 30 minutes it's gonna be sunny weather. So it's gonna be dry in the end of the race, and we all know that Rio, even if it's long, it's very slow. The lap times here in the wets are 1.50 and 1 minute 50, and having to add 27 laps, it's gonna have like 54 minutes. Maybe less than that because it's 150, not 2 minutes, but it's really easy to calculate what the outcome will be, as Diamond Hit's having a very good time after not practicing at all. He has qualified P11, he has made 4 places now, as I Am Bob is losing some ground. From P3 to P8 is really bad. I'm not gonna lie, as Hamza loses even more time. He has gone wide once again. It's 2.1 now. Power Gamer Pro. Wow, you gotta give credit to him. So Team EP Motorsport, despite not having their best driver, don't really seem to do anything about it, to worry about that, because with this outcome they will still lead the championship. I'm afraid that they will also extend the advantage over Funny Group Racing, as we have the first retirement of the session is the arcade racing driver, reserve driver Knochenbrecher. He was previously the racing in season 9 and season 10. In season 9 he was the reserve driver for Spirit Racing, which are not in the grid anymore. After season 10 they have surpassed anything. In season 10 he was at Kotangens, and he was firstly the reserve driver, but then he replaced ISO Games, who is not in the league anymore, and he has raced for the whole season as the reserve driver. You can tell that. As Harry Gamer Pro continues to keep the gap even bigger, he continues to have Hamza fading away from his mirrors. It's 2.5 now. So we gotta talk about what will happen in these last laps, because it seems that in 60 minutes they are going to it's going to be no rain at all, but you gotta give some time to make it dry enough to put on slicks. And looking at the outcome, it's gonna be no rain at all in like lap 50 to 60. So you gotta pit. So the strategies will be interesting. If I was racing in that race, I would definitely go wets for these 70-80 laps until pitting for... No, it has no sense. I think I would pit in like lap 50 and then put on inters and then put on dries if the weather will allow us to do so. That's very, very cheeky for drivers to do. What will the drivers do? Drivers inexperienced like Def, they might have a problem with doing that, but drivers experienced like Leopard or like Bob, they won't have a problem at all, and they have a chance to come back to this race, even if they are sitting in P6 and P8. As Diamond goes wide and he hits the wall, and it seems that he loses a place to Iron Bob, so Iron Bob is 7th now. As the outcome at the top hasn't changed at all since the start of the race, since lap 5. It's our Gamer Pro head of Hamza. Hamza was closed in some distance to our Gamer Pro. It was 2.5, it's 1.7 now, so it seems that they're having similar pace. But however, Gamer Pro must have done some mistakes, and it's 1.7 now. Also, Def is currently still sitting in third. It might be a nice story to tell if he does stand on this podium after 3 years of FRL break due to the ban. Do we see any other battle? We see any other battle, why not? P8, P9, P10, P11. They are having a battle because Iron Bob has pulled away already from Verstappen. No, he has made a mistake, it seems, because the gap has closed down once again, as Hamza is making a green sector 1, but he has made a mistake, he has run wide too much, so it must have cost him some time, and it does cost him some time. He has lost 2/10 from that, but he seems to recover already to 1.7, so the gap is stable, and oh, he almost goes to the corner cut zone. He just withdrew with that bollard, and that surely made him cost time. It's 2.1 once again. As Rip David is closing in on Def for that final podium position. Def, David, Def. The gap is 9/10 now. It was 2 seconds, I believe. So we will see how it goes. The battle for P8 seems to fade away, because so does Verstappen from Albert, so it's battle for P9 now. More likely. Oh, my throat is hurting now. So battle, and Diamond, as Albert goes for a corner cut, and it costs him 2 places, not 1, 2, and he's fighting with Battle for P10. Hugh having a stable lineup for this race, having some solid points finish as it stands, as Diamond seems to not match the pace Battle does, and he loses ground over him. Rip David is even closer to Dev than he was. He made it twice as close, the gap, to what it was on the end of lap 8. As however, Gamer Pro is still making Hamza fade away from his mirrors. It's 2.6 now. We know Hamza from making some of the mistakes. He isn't immune to that. Like, I don't know, Leoparder is, or David. David seems to gain another chunk of time to Dev. It is completely understandable, as the experience is playing its role in these sketchy conditions, as it seems that the track is wet now. So it's not soaked anymore, it's 3 degrees of wetness, as you can see on the side of the screen. So it's very, very interesting to see, not gonna lie. Also, we see the battle of for P9 as Bato goes so wide. He loses ground to Albert, his teammate. Iron Bob is the first one to pit, and I'm not gonna be surprised and if he goes to gamble for new inters. Yes, he does. He does. So the gamble session is beginning with what Bob does. I mean, he has nothing to lose. He's in P7. It's very, very disappointing for him, especially after what he's done in qualifying P3. What a good lap he has put in. But we will see. We will see the outcome because we will monitor the gap now. So the gap to Ring the Racer is 2.5. He might be faster because of the tire advantage. We know that wets might be faster, but not the wets that are used. So Iron Bob is having some problems with these tires, but he seems to take down that gap to 1.9 now. At the start of the lap, it was 2.5, I'm afraid. So it's either Mr. Ring the Racer being less in the skill, despite having wet tires, to Bob, which is completely understandable. Or it's actually Inters that are being better because it's a mashup. It's a mashup between this 3 degrees is a mashup between wets and Inters. So we gotta see the pace between some more experienced, better drivers. But Iron Bob goes wide. We gotta monitor what is going on between Howler Gamer Pro and Iron Bob. That's more likable outcome. So the gap 3.4 make that 33.5. So it seems that Inters are not faster for now. For now, we gotta remind ourselves with that. So in 9 minutes, it will be another situation. In the meantime, Gamer Pro is flying every single corner. He has made the gap 3.6 to Hamza and 8 seconds to Def. Def has also increased the gap over Rib David. It's 1.8 now. So yeah, but Gamer Pro, he has turned on Prime Andy, to be honest. He has never been on the podium, I remind you of that. We see in the meantime Iron Bob making his way to overtake, fly past Ring the Racer, despite being wide after making his way to through turn 10. It's just the lines, it's the skill also. We're not gonna lie, Iron Bob is one of the most deserved drivers in Division 2 West. Next on the radar is the Diamond, who seems to also have some problems with the tires, as it seems that Inters are faster now. Look at the gap, it's 33.1 now. It used to be 33.5. It used to be increasing, but Iron Bob goes very, very deep, and that costs him some time. No, it's 32.5 now, so Inters are now faster than wets, but he goes even deeper than in the hairpin. He doesn't help himself in taking down all the gap that he has lost. So that's a very, very interesting race to see. I assure you, you gotta want to stay until the end of the race, if in case you are watching this. In case you are not, I invite you. Why did I even say that? You're not even in the conversation when you're not seeing the stream. Anyways, Iron Bob is set to overtake Diamond for another place up. It's P10 now. He has done that with such an ease. He's flying right now with his Inters, but it seems that he can't make the fastest lap time as he's done. No, he does green. And he's taking down that gap second after second now. Look at the gap. It's 23.7.3 to Gamer Pro. So it might be the time where other drivers have to listen to what Bob said. They gotta acknowledge that. And they got to pit as well in case they want to keep their chances on winning this race. Because Bob, with that move, must have kept alive with his dreams of winning the home race. The team's home race, not his own home race. It's David's home race, as he's Brazilian, and he's making their France proud as he has taken down all the gap to Dev. It was 1.8, now it's nothing to be honest. And let's see who has the better line. It seems that but Dev went wide, and we will see if he has done any time loss with that one. It seems that not. It's just the slipstream that makes Rip David closer and closer to Dev. Now through the chicane they go. Who will make a mistake? None of them. So David and Dev, they're fighting for with each other. David for the home podium and team's home podium. Dev for the very first podium in the very first start after 3 years of not doing so. So that will be very, very interesting to see as Gamer Pro and Hamza. 3.4 used to be 4.1, so they might have chances as well. As Bob is now on 25.6 on Gamer Pro, so it seems that in case Gamer Pro pits, he might be behind. Bob actually, as Bato makes a giant mistake, and it will allow not only Bob to take the place up, but also his teammate Albert. They are fighting wheel to wheel now. It seems Albert with a such better line, and he makes the move stick as Bato now with a better line through turn 8. But Albert has the better traction, and through turn 9 they go, and to turn 10, and we will see who will come out on top in that battle with the better line. They are changing each other like corner to corner, to be honest. Now it's Bato in the lead ahead of Albert for a couple of tenths, as we see Bob losing some ground actually to Gamer Pro. It used to be 25.6, now it's 28.3. As the rain will stop falling in 4 minutes, so we're halfway done for the race. Almost. Now we're halfway done. So we will see who will be the smartest one. Will it be Bob or will it be anyone that pits? Now Rip David pits, so he's replicating what Bob's did with pitting earlier than anybody else. So he doesn't miss his pit box. Leopardo is following him to the pit box. It doesn't show that he's in the pit lane though, but he does pit, and so does Albert. So everyone, I can see that they are making their way into the inters, and David is behind Bob, but he has fresher tires, so he will likely imminently overtake his teammate for P6 spot. We can see both drivers fighting wheel to wheel, having identical lap times. That's identical lines. That's very interesting to see that they are not changing within each other like two similar drops of water. Now we see David being ahead of Bob, but it's not over yet. I cannot see Bob giving up on this position to his teammate, especially as they are both fighting for with each other, but they are also both fighting for the team outcome, as it might be a great night to Lezados tonight. We will also see which drivers will make their way up into the pits. We'll see. What will Gamer Pro do? My bad. What will Gamer Pro do? The rain will stop falling in 2 minutes, so it's gotta be this lap. I think it would be the best way. Hamza, what will Hamza do? Will he make his way? No. What will Dev do? Will Dev be other than Hamza and Gamer Pro? Yes, yes. So Dev pits, and we will see what will Anoif do. Verstappen, both funny group racing drivers. Anoif pits, Verstappen stays. So David makes his way up into the starting straight, and he will overtake both Dev and Anoif. So he is provisionally in P3 now, unless Hamza and Gamer Pro, they will do something about it. But the rain will stop falling in a minute. So what happened? What happened? Did anyone get... Was it only me? Hold on. I pray that it will be only me. No way. No way. No. Um, hmm. What will we do now? Uh, I'm discussing. Oh my God, this is so such an awkward situation. Oh yeah. Right, so we're gonna have a restart past lap 14. So at the start of lap 15. So at the moment where Gamer Pro crossed the line, so drivers that are that have pitted in that lap will be happy. Mm, will be very lucky. All right, I'm going to copy paste the league announcements. Okay, so we're gonna have a restart, and I'm afraid I got to join the server first because I'm not in the server yet. Um, I don't know what was the issue with the server, but the order will be: I announce it to you. Gamer Pro, Hamza, Def, Annoy, Verstappen, Rip David, I am Bob, Leoparder, Bato, Ring the Racer, Albert, Diamond, Dan Solarisov, and Chirpy. That's the order. Okay, so what will the weather be? I gotta be told. It's enters 5 votes, dynamic 2 votes, dry 4 votes. So we're gonna have an inter race until the end. So it's 12 laps on inter tires. Okay, the order. Who was in P12? Uh, 12 diamond. P13 is Dan Solarisov. 14 is Chirpy. I gotta show myself the. Wait, let me change that for this restart manner. I gotta check myself if everything is correct. So we have Gamer Pro, Hamza, Dev, Noif, Verstappen, David, Bob, Leoparder, Beto, Ring the Racer, Albert, Diamond, Dan Solaris of the Turkish Michaels. Okay. Okay, so we see Diamond placing his car into his P12 box. So okay. I'm sorry I'm not talking to you, but I'm very busy with the restart procedure. So you gotta understand me, because this is. Oh yeah, I gotta look for the jump starts. So, oh my god. Okay. Okay, I think. Okay, that might be the good outcome. Four, 3, 2, 1, go! And we are away at the lights. DevGo has a bad start. He loses a place to Anoif. He loses a place to Verstappen. He loses a couple of places. It's 5 positions lost to Dev, and he loses another places. What is he doing? No, he's at P6, I am afraid. So, yes, he's at P6, but he lost 3 places now. And Verstappen seems to be in P3 attacking Hamza Legend. We have 12 laps ahead of the drivers. Hamza overtakes Gamer Pro. He's will to will with him. It's past sector 1, it's Hamza, it's Gamer Pro. It's Leopardo goes very wide, he hits the wall. So Gamer Pro goes wide. What a carnage at the start of the race. Verstappen having a great start to this race from P4, from P5 to P2, overtaking Gamer Pro. What a mess at the start of this race. What a mess of this race is at all. Hamza Legend leads the way from Verstappen, from Hauer Gamer Pro, from Battle. Leopardo Dev loses another place. So he's at P6 now, but you can't blame him, to be honest. We will see how the race goes, but Verstappen overtakes Hauer Gamer Pro. What a start has Bato had from P9 up to P4, and he's fighting for that last podium position with Hauer Gamer Pro. Behind them is the championship leader Leopardo and Dev. So we're gonna see a very exciting race, I hope, and I think you also hope for seeing the exciting race as Verstappen goes wide, and it makes him lose some ground to Vettel, losing some ground to Gamer Pro, as Leopardo and Dev has lost ultimate ground, only 1.8 behind. And Leopardo also almost makes a corner cut. Who has had a bad start? David has. He hasn't. He folded under pressure, I believe, having a home race and home race team weekend. But I Am Bob seems to be the one who is Ring the Racer. No, Ring the Racer might. He has froze 1 lap ago. And it seems that it's race over for him. He was at P10 at the start of this second part of the race. And it seems that it's over. Meanwhile, Dev has overtaken Leopardo. He is actually fighting will to will with him, having battle on the radar for P4. So that's a great start to what it was on the start. But Leopardo with such a better line, so it's fighting will to will between the first. The rookie, I should say, and the championship leader. The way that Dev is folding these attacks is very great to see, to be honest, and battle with the fastest lap, let me remind you. So Hamza opens the gap 1.1 now, and Verstappen fighting with Gamer Pro for that second and third championship podium place, with Battle and Leopardo, and Dev having a greater line than what Leopardo offered, and that makes him up a place. So Dev, Battle, Leopardo, they have still chances to that final podium position, maybe even P2. We will see as Leopardo goes wide again, and that makes him lose even more time. And Dev is just on the back of Battle. Two of the rookies fighting wheel to wheel into turn 1, into turn 2. Let's see who falls under pressure, who budges. No one does, but Battle with a better line. And it seems that Verstappen and Gamer Pro are fighting wheel to wheel once again, every lap, every corner. It's so satisfying to see, as we see Ring the Racer still fighting, still hoping that he still can reconnect with the field. And if that is said so, We will see at which position will he actually get back, but I doubt that. He's 2 laps behind for the time being, as Hamza gets a purple sector 1 at lap 3. That shows how great he is in managing these conditions, in managing these tires, which are very, very sketchy in these conditions. Sketchy are these conditions. Just sorry for that. Dev has overtaken Bato in the meantime. He has made 2 places up within the start of the race where he has dropped back to P3, and Gamer Pro loses some ground to Verstappen. What a start from Verstappen. That's the biggest start of this restart, as he has made up 3 places in 1 lap. As Hamza, another flyer with sector 2, now 2 purple sectors, and it seems that he will take away the fastest lap from his teammate. Okay, let's see. Do we see another battles? Of course we do see. We see Dev being just ahead of Battle of Leopardo. We see the fight for P8 between Smikos, between David and Anoiv. Anoiv with the shocker start. Mr. Ring Racer was detected for exploding. Check info. Wait, what? Okay, so let's get back to the race. Let's not get interested in a driver that was already retired as the second retirement of the session. So we see Hamza having we see Hamza opening the gap to Verstappen. It's 1.6 now. He has 7/10 of a gap to however, Gamer Pro, as Gamer Pro has hit the wall. I have seen that, but I haven't talked about it. So it makes Dev having some breathing space of Gamer Pro as he goes wide, and that might be unforgiving to Dev, who is hungry for some more of that podium feeling. So Dev is now just at the back of Gamer Pro. I'm certain that Gamer Pro can feel his breath on his neck, on his back, as Dev is just behind him. He has a better line, he goes wide, but it doesn't make him lose so much time. Konrad, zamkniesz się. Jeszcze trochę. Okay, so coming back to the race, Gamer Pro and Dev, they are separated by, it seems, 0.2 of a second, so anything can happen with 8 laps to go only. But Verstappen seems to make a canonic mistake, having him just 0.8 behind, as we see telemetry failing us again. Gamer Pro being P5 for a brief moment, but he comes back to P3, having Verstappen on the radar. So it's 1.2 between the drivers, and Dev is also in the touch of Gamer Pro, as he seems to have problems. You can see that in our screen, as we have Gamer Pro on the onboard. As he goes wide again, and that makes Dev gaining even more time. So Dev can smell the air of podium. The feeling of podium is even clearer now, as Dev makes even more time, leaving Bato and I Am Bob behind, as they are fighting for another position for P6. Leopardo is also in the conversation. So can Few David, because he's 0.9 of a second behind. Smikos is 0.6 of a second behind David, and Anoiv is 0.9 of a second behind. That makes a giant slipstream train between the drivers, as we see Hamza opening even more gap. He can take away what he has lost in Hisborn, but it's too early to see. As we see Verstappen being chased by Dev and Higher Gamer Pro. That must have been a major mistake from Verstappen, as he's folding under pressure. So Dev is now on the podium positions, and he can take away P2, what he has lost to Verstappen, and Dev seems to take away that. So We see that now a freeway fight for P2. That's something you would want to see. Let's see if someone does the major mistake in this last 7 laps. We are still seeing a fight for P5 though, Bob being just a bit ahead, having that a little bit of breathing space over Leopard, over Battle, over David, who are separated by absolutely nothing, as we see three of the drivers making their way, each corner fighting for what could be their first podium of the season. I'm talking about Dev, I'm talking about Gamer Pro. Verstappen has already tasted podium taste twice this season, twice in Buenos Aires, as it's his first third race for FRO. All of them are losing ground to Hamza, who has now almost 3 seconds of a gap to the other contenders. He seems free, he seems gigantic, he seems neat, he seems very quick, and he shows that. Raining practice is worth something. It's not worth nothing. It's worth actually something. As we see Dev being in P2, now losing some time to GamerPro, to Verstappen, but it could be 1-2 from Kotangens, and I'm believing that it could be the first 1-2 of the season for Division 2. Am I right? I think I'm right. So Dev is overtaking Verstappen, now fighting with Gamer Pro for that P2 and P3 outcome. 6 laps left only. With that interweathers, that might be sketchy, but Gamer Pro makes a mistake that gives Dev some little bit of breathing space, but he loses that immediately. He must have made a mistake in the first 2 turns, as he hits the wall, and that costs him a big time. That costs him a position to Verstappen. They are changing positions every corner, I should say. You can also see that, and Verstappen goes for a corner cut. I was meant to say that Dev hit the wall, but Verstappen comes with an even more major mistake that sets him back, and that might be unforgiving for Verstappen when it comes to his hopes for the for a third consecutive podium ever, and for the second consecutive podium this division. So we now see Gamer Pro and Dev fighting wheel to wheel for P2 and P3 outcome, as Hamza keeps continuing to make them fade away in his Pakistani mirrors, in his Pakistani destination, in his Pakistani connection that is not shrinking anymore. I'm sorry if I missed something, I got to charge my phone. So what we can see is that Leoparder is in P5, ahead of the Rip David, ahead of Battle, as Bob has lost some couple of places, must have done some great mistakes that cost him a bit time. He's having a bad momentum right now, fighting with Smikos for P8 instead of fighting with the other contenders up ahead, the contenders that he's fighting with in the driver's standings. For P5, as currently it's Rip David up front. No, it's Leoparder, but Leoparder must have done some unforgiving mistakes that made David so close to Leoparder, as we see Gamer Pro having some of that breathing space over Dev, but Dev has some better line as Gamer Pro goes wide once again. He has some problems with that corner. We can see that every time we see him on the onboard, on the radar. And David with Leopard are fighting wheel to wheel as well, so we see some battles. Dev is just 1 second behind, and it seems that he's closer to Verstappen rather than to Gamer Pro, so he has to defend for that last 4.5 laps of this race to achieve his goal, his destination, his dream of becoming a podium holder after all these 3 years of waiting until his age ban comes fading away. So we see Dev trying to make some time to Gamer Pro, and Gamer Pro actually made some time to Hamza. It's 2.5 now. Hamza must have done some unforgiving corner cut that doesn't really set up his situation for good, because he still has that comfortable soft gap over the other competitors that are just behind him. So with 4 laps to go, it seems that Hamza is coming to achieve his goal for this season. But because his goal was to win his first race, he came so good, he came so fast to this season, having a podium in the first his first podium in the first round of, at Flevo. Then he has had some shocking rounds, the rounds that he disconnected in some P7 finishes. But then in Division 2 East, he has had some 2 consecutive podiums as a reserve driver for Kotangens, for Hugh. And now he comes back as a superior. With 4 laps to go, he might do what he has told me to do when he was, before the season started, asked what his goal is for this season. So we see now Gamer Pro and Dev fighting once again. It seems that Dave is faster now than the TMP Motorsports reserve. We also see Verstappen having some pressure put by the championship leader, by the 4th place holder of the championship, which is also very dangerous on track. David, he has something to prove. He has something to prove for himself, for the country, for the team that he races for. Everything is related to Brazil, even the track, because it's his home race, because it's Lazados' home race. You can see that by the special livery they have prepared for this round. So we see David currently sitting in P6. That's not the result that he dreamed of, especially with the practice times that he has put throughout the course of a whole week. But we see Gamer Pro and Dev. They have a Gamer Pro changing places. The gap is 1/10 with 3 laps to go. It seems that Dev is on the screen a little bit more ahead. None of them make a mistake in the first 2 turns, which is very, very crucial for the next part of the laps, parts of the lap. Due to other fights, we see a fight for P9. It's Anoiv, it's Albert, Bob having a very, very bad time right now. From P3 in qualifying, from P7 in the restart, now to P11. I wouldn't want to be in his place, not gonna lie, as Anoiv and Albert are fighting wheel to wheel. Not so, because Albert has overtaken him past that sector 1, now through turn 8, as Michael seems to make some mistake because he's more up ahead than he was before. He is bigger in the distance of the cockpit of Albert. And we see Dev overtaking Gamer Pro. I have missed that once again, but Dev seems to be faster, he seems to be thrilling. He seems to be not prone to the pressure that is putting on himself every single lap, every single moment of the race, but he seems to gain some time, have lost some time to Gamer Pro, as he must have had some better line through these corners. As he goes deep, he goes wide, it costs him another chunk of time to Gamer Pro. With only 2 laps to go, it will be, as Hamza will cross the line for the third last time. Let's see what we will get in the final outcome of this race, as we see Verstappen trying to fold away the pressure that is being put by Leopardo, by David, by Battle. Not maybe by Battle, by Rip David and the Leopardo only. We also see Dev and Gamer Pro and Dev fighting for P2. That is going to be, unless they make some mistakes by the end of the race, it will be their first podiums of their career. Dev's best result, I can't even remember that, I wasn't even in the season 5. So let's assume that this is debut back after 3 seasons. But Gamer Pro has almost had that taste of a podium on his tongue, as he was P4 in Halong Bay, fighting wheel to wheel with Hamza for it every single lap, it seemed. Dev with a much better exit, so it seems that Dev also runs for that P2 unless he messes something up. The P2 is for him, but it's still a lot of time there's still a lot to bottle. It's still a lot to gain, as we have 1.5 lap. As Dev goes wide, as I said so, but it doesn't make him lose so much time. But it seems that Gamer Pro might be even closer, even bigger in his mirrors, as I'm sure he checks that. He goes wide once again, but it doesn't seem he loses so much time. He doesn't go wide this time. He doesn't get affected by the slowdown near the barrier. But it seems that Gamer Pro is even closer to death. It's 3 seconds. It used to be 4. It now 2. As Hamza crosses the line for the penultimate time. I'm gonna stick to Dev though, because this is the most interesting part of the race right now. With the last lap of the race, it seems that Dev is almost made the mistake. He has made a mistake. He's closer to Gamer Pro now, so it's not over yet. When it comes to the podium outcome, it's Dev and Gamer Pro split by only 1/10. Verstappen is out of the podium fight. That's for sure. It's 2.3 seconds now. He has to focus more on Leopardo and David, who are still a threat to him with these last laps, with these last corners to go, as Dev is trying to take away that all that pressure that Gamer Pro puts on him. P3 is surely not making him that happy. He wants that P2. He wants that P2 for the team as he goes wide once again. That's surely a cause. He can't do that every lap. He goes with a way worse line, so it seems that Dev gains another chunk of time on him with the last sector to go. I'm gonna stick to Hamza now, because Hamza was he was very sad about what happened at Hisborn at Division 2 East race. He was leading whole race. He was leading almost the majority of the race when the keyboard disconnection has happened, and that made him lose a chunk of time so big that he has fallen out from P1. He has fallen out from the podium places. He has finished P4, making Amogus Imposter race winner for the first time in his career, for the first time in Kotangen's history. Now Hamza has a chance to do so for the second time in the team's history, for the first time in his history, making a 1-2 as Dev has faded away from Gamer Pro. It's gonna be a 1-2 to Kotangens for the first time in the history as Hamza, making his way to the checkered flag, cuts the beam as the superior. Dev, having the very first race, finishes second. Gamer Pro with the first podium of the season, of the career. It's gonna be third. He crosses the line and he leaves. He knows that he has messed up that P2 finish in the distance. He was leading the whole race before the restart, so it is surely heartbreak to him as well. But what was lost in Hisborn comes back to him at Rio. Hamza is the winner of the Brazilian Grand Prix, with David finishing P5. Then Verstappen, David, Battles, Michaels, Albert, only Leopardo, only in ninth. What has happened to him? That's very interesting to know. I'm gonna ask him just in a bit of time. Bob is only 10th, Anoiv is 11th, and Diamond closes the points fight. What a race has it been, interrupted by rain, interrupted by the restart, as everyone was kicked from the server. The server has died, to be honest. And it's another race session, it seems to be. So the rain has never was never meant to be down. He was never meant to be over. As my drive of the day, as the final accent of this stream, as the team boss of this team, I'm happy for both of the drivers, because I'm the team boss of Kotangens. So it's a historic moment for me as well. But I gotta take the credit to Gamer Pro. I For the first time in the stream's history, I'm not gonna pick the one driver of the day. Is gonna be free. Hamza, Dev, and Gamer Pro, all the podium sitters have to be awarded, given some credit, given some daylight, flashlight, as they three were having so much of a race, as it's another rain session. uh, Yeah, Hamza was giving it all. He has said it to me, but Gamer Pro was just faster by a bit. But he was Gamer Pro. It must have been a heartbreak to him. But he was driving also very, very great throughout the whole race. He has finished with a podium, what could be the victory. He must feel just like Leclerc in 2019 Bahrain Grand Prix. As for Def, generational. Generational. He didn't even know that the race was at 9 p.m. So he practiced only for 3 hours before the race, and he has practiced the rain pace as well as Hamza. So you have the answer why it was 1-2 for Katangens. As I'm gonna close this chapter now, we're gonna close the Division 2 West chapter Rio now, and I'm going to invite you for the Division 2 East race that's gonna take place. Let me see. 2 plus 12 in 14 hours. So you gotta calculate this by yourself. My name was Quatrus, and I had so much pleasure joining you today. I just hope I will be joined by anybody at least for the next round. I will commentate. So yeah, my name is Quatrus, and goodbye. Have a nice day. Have a nice evening. Have a nice